Hey guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guy. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see, I've got another review here. Today I've got a review of the Arrtx Acrylic marker set. Sorry, excuse me. Now I've done a review of a similar type of product from Arrtx quite a while back. They thought it was a metallic set and another set as well, but these ones are slightly different. So I wanted to just show you what they are, what they can do, what they're capable of doing, and I've done a little bit of artwork with them as well. It's just a fun piece of artwork that I've done with them, but I think the artwork that I've done shows you what you can do with these markers and how much fun you can have with them. I think as we get into the review, you'll see the type of artist I think that would get the most benefit out of this set. So let's get on with the review. So as I said, this is a set of acrylic markers. So it's basically just acrylic paint inside the pens. There's 24 colours in this particular set. They do have other sets. On the back you've got a little bit of a swatch here on the back, just to give you a rough idea of the colours that are inside the set. On opening the box, you can see here the markers themselves are quite big. When I say quite big, what I mean is they hold quite a lot of paint. Along the barrel here, we can see that right on the very top here, where the lid itself is the pigment identifier. So as you can see here in the set, they've all got different colours, the lids, and so they just give you a quick visual representation of what the pigment is. On the top here as well of the lid, there is a alphanumeric number, and that represents the colour that's inside the pen as well. On one side of the barrel here, we can see that there's an indication of the actual nib, which is a 1.6mm brush nib. And then just down the side here, it just says Simtap acrylic marker. Along the side here, there's kind of like a wavy line. That's actually like a window into this, so you can actually see the paint move about in it. But it also says along here, strong covering, force, sunproof, and waterproof. Sunproof, I think, is obviously a new age way of saying light fast. Now, there is no light fast information, specific light fast information about these pens or the acrylic paint. But in general, they say they're light fast. Now, you've got to obviously take with that what you can or what you will. But just know that there's no Blue Wool or ASTM individual ratings on the pens. They're not that type of product. Along the side here as well, we have just a little bit of instructions as to how to use a pen, and you'll see in a second why that is there, why it's needed. And that's really about all there is on the outside. When you take the lid off, as you can see here, there's a really nice brush nib on the end of the marker. Gives you a lot of control. You can get a lot of really nice detail with it, and it covers relatively big areas quite fast. On the very end of the pen, we do have a button, which in order to, when you first get these pens, you're going to have to press this button to activate the paint to come down into the actual brush marker. There's also don't know if you can hear that. There's also like a little bead inside it, just so that it mixes the paint up, saves the paint from drying, and just gets it ready for whenever you need to use it. And like I say, you depress this little button at the top here. It's just like a little pump. You press it, and the paint will come down into the brush nib. Now, when I first got these, so I got these quite a while ago. Arrtx sent them out to me quite a while ago. Unfortunately, I'm only getting around to doing the review now, and I've apologized to Arrtx for that. But I think because I had left them so long, and I'd left them outside here in the studio, where during the winter months it was obviously really cold. It took a little while for the acrylic paint to come down in through the reservoir and into the brush nib. Now, like I say, I think that's much more to do with the way I stored them than it has anything else. Because once I was able to get the brush nibs activated, that was it. When I was doing the artwork, you very rarely have to it's not like you have to continually pump these things to get a lot of paint through. Maybe once or twice, and that gives you a consistent flow of acrylic paint to use. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the pens, but before I do that, I'll show you the artwork, and I'll also show you the swatch that I've created. Okay, so this is the full set of colors that is in this 24 set. You can see that all the colors that are in here are bright and vibrant, and they give you a very consistent coverage. It's like a blocky coverage. The white ones down here, which obviously you can't see, I am going to show you what these look like on dark paper as well, so I'll show you that in just a second. But these are the colors that you get in the 24 set. Now, the type of artist, the type of person or individual that these pens would be great for is crafters. These pens work well on glass, wood, like rocks, that type of stuff. You can do so many different things with them and create that, lots and lots of different projects that you can do with them. I think the way that I have displayed them and demonstrated them in this review is perhaps not the best way to use them, but nevertheless, unfortunately, this is the only way I know how to demonstrate and review products. So let me show you the artwork that I've done with them. Now, the pad that I've used is just this mixed media pad from Arrtx. It's quite a smooth surface, and the paper in it is actually really quite nice. So, like I said to you, I found this image. It's obviously a kid's cartoon. I think they're called Powerpuff Girls or something like that. I know my little niece watches these. So she gave me the idea to do it. But you can see here, like, the blocky nature of the colors. It's not, they're not the type of pens where you can do, blending and do all these wild different types of things with them. They are what they are. They're paints, and you can just mix them up, or you can just, use them as they are. But like I said, I think perhaps demonstrating it like this was perhaps not the best way. Unfortunately, I don't have any glass or anything like that I could have used to demonstrate, or rocks, but like I say, they do work well on those types of surfaces, or wood. Like if you get like a wood platform and you want to make something nice out of it, when you use them on glass, and I know this because I've allowed somebody from my wife's work to borrow them, and she done a mural on a glass door going into the nursery, and it kind of like comes through a little bit like stained glass window whenever the light shines through on it. So unfortunately I can't show you a photograph of that because it's inside a nursery, and there's lots of regulations about taking photographs in nurseries. You can't do it, but it turned out really well, and all of the girls that were in the nursery love it, and the kids love it because, like I say, when the light shines through, it projects all these different colours. So there's lots and lots of different methods and ways that you can use these pens. This is just one of them, perhaps not the best one. Okay, so I'm just going to show you kind of like how these pens work and the way they lay down on this, and then I'll show you them on some grey paper and some black paper. Now, I said to you earlier on about shaking it before you start it. Make sure that if you do that, if you get these, if this product is something that would be of interest to you, when you get them, make sure that you don't have the lid off when you shake it, because the paint will go everywhere, as I found out. Now, it states it on here, but obviously me being Irish and not being very clever, I failed to read it properly. Okay, so let me just get a bit of colour on here first, and then I'll zoom in. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so you can see there, I can get a really nice coverage with these markers. And like I say, this is perhaps not the best use of these pens, but I was quite happy with the outcome of the artwork that I did. It's definitely something that, you know, a lot of Posca pen artists as well will use, like Bristol vellum or Bristol smooth paper, and create nice pieces like Simpsons or South Park, or, you know, cartoon characters like that. Again, you know, the colours are really nice and bright and vibrant and strong. But when it comes down to mixing, you know, trying to create third colours, you can't really do it, at least not on the paper. And when you do it, so I've just put a little bit of yellow down there, coming in there with blue, you can see that the colours are so they're just so opaque that it's quite difficult to create a third colour. And because I've done this on paper, you can see there it's getting a little bit messy. Plus also it messes up the actual nib of the marker. So I need to just rub it off on the paper to get that green away. It will go away. It's just a case of using the marker until the colour from the marker just pushes through the second colour that you've applied to it. So so sorry about that. So they're not really the type of markers that you can start, you know, they're not like watercolours or anything like that, or acrylic paints that you can sit and mix and create lots of different colours. You just use the colours that are there. Okay, so I've just got some grey paper here from Strathmore, and then I've just got some black sketch paper. Again, perhaps not the best surfaces to be using these pens on. If you are going to use these pens on any type of surface, I would suggest something like Strathmore Bristol Smooth. That surface would definitely be a little bit more beneficial than what I've used here. I don't have any Bristol Smooth with me, or I don't have any at the minute. Unfortunately, I just can't afford things like that right now, so I've just got to use what I've got. So again, I'm just going to apply some colour here on a slightly darker surface. So you can see the yellow there on the grey. It's still really bright and vibrant and opaque. And then on the black, same thing, nice and bright and opaque. Little bit of blue. Again, nice and bright and opaque. You can see there, I've used the pump on that one, so it came through a little bit thicker. And you can see there on black card, you know, it's so opaque. It's so rich and vibrant. We'll go for the red here again. Let me just show you here. So all I need to do is just pump the pen, and that will just send the paint through the reservoir here down into the brush. And now I'll just show you the black and white. So again, black. It's a little bit difficult to do kind of like outlining with that, but it can be done. I'm not going to show you it on there. You're not going to see it. And then the white. So you can see on both the grey and the black that the colours turn out really nice, really bright, vibrant, and like I said, excellent for crafting, that type of thing. Okay guys, so that's my review of the Arrtx acrylic marker pens. Arrtx have two different types of marker pens, these acrylic marker pens. They have the ones here where you have to pump in order to get the flow of paint coming through, and then they also have a set, like I said earlier on, acrylic marker pens where you don't have to pump. Now, the set that I did the review of were the barrel was a little bit thinner, and so therefore obviously the paint content was perhaps less in terms of milliliters, but nevertheless Arrtx do have two different options that you can go with if this is a type of product that you think you might get some sort of value out of or entertainment out of, whatever. I think they'd be great for kids as well. You know, if you've got a couple of toddlers or something like that and you want to set them down at the table, put a big piece of paper out. What we used to do with our kids, when they were younger and they were at home at the weekend and it was raining or anything like that, my wife would go out. I mean, she's brilliant at doing crafting for kids and what have you, because she's worked with kids for so long. She would go out and she would buy a roll of just, you know, those really, really like lining paper, wallpapers. You literally just apply it to the wall before you do like your wallpaper. It's just to line the wall with. She would go and get a big roll of that, roll it out on the table, and then the three kids would just sit around and use the terrible crayons and what have you that we gave them back then. But they got so much fun out of it. You know, if you had a couple of kids and you had some pens like this, because they're not super expensive. For this particular set here, they're £22 on Amazon. So that's £22 for 24 pens. And like I say, the size of the barrels, you're going to get a significant amount of paint in each pen. And I think a set like this you could share out between a couple of kids and, you know, get some rocks from the garden or the street or whatever, bring them in and get the kids painting those. Little bits of wood that you can buy on Amazon, you could do that and get them doing a couple of little projects like names for their rooms, you know, that type of thing. There's a lot of different ideas and projects that I can think of that you could use these pens for, and I'm sure you guys could think of 100 more. I'm not very good at coming up with things like that. It's a fun tool. It's a fun art product that I think a lot of different people would get value from and get good entertainment from. I enjoyed using them, and I enjoyed the way the artwork came out with this little, the Powerpuff Girls, I think they're called, or something like that. Whatever. I enjoyed it, and it was nice the way it came out. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If this review has been helpful to you in any way, or you've taken a little bit of value from it, please hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. You don't have to, it's not necessary. But if you do subscribe, the next time I do any giveaways, you get a notification. It means that you don't miss out on the giveaways. And I've done a lot of giveaways over the years. 120 set of Cairn Dash Pablo. I just give away 100 set of the Derwent Inktense. I've done a 48 wooden box set of the Derwent Artists. I've done lots and lots of different giveaways. So if that's something that might appeal to you, if you subscribe, then you get a notification. Although having said that, you don't have to be a subscriber to be in with the chance of winning. But like I say, you miss out on the notifications. Also, if you'd like, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Especially Facebook and Twitter, I have lots of different like personal photos I put up of me and Coda, my Siberian Husky. If that type of thing interests you, then follow me over there. The links for all of those will be down below. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see some other links for other Arrtx products that I've reviewed in the past, including the other acrylic marker pens, if that is something that you want to look out for. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. Bye.